Before Shakespeare, before Chaucer, before even the English we speak today, there was the world of warriors, wanderers, and whispered tales. Welcome to the Anglo-Saxon age where the roots of English literature first took hold in the land of storms, sword, and sacred songs. When the Roman Empire fell apart around 410 CE, Britain was left wide open. Suddenly, the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes sailed in from across the North Sea. They didn't just bring new faces, they came with their own gods, rugged traditions, and fierce court that shaped everything. But change was coming. In 597 AD, a Roman monk named Augustine arrived in Britain, carrying a cross instead of sword. Christianity began to spread, transforming not just people's beliefs, but it also rewrote their stories. The old pagan song met new Christian hopes, and something beautiful was born. Anglo-Saxon literature began not on paper, but in the air sung by Scots. The tribal poets who turned battle into ballads and grief into words, people memorized these stories. These stories were passed down by memory, shaped by rhymes and alliteration. So here comes alliteration. Alliteration is a repetition of the same sound in a group of words, like in this phrase, Big Brown Bears bakes buttery biscuits. Okay. Later, monks began to write these stories down in Old English, presenting them in precious manuscripts like Exeter books. These weren't just stories, they were lifelines, carrying the hopes, fears, and faith of the people who lived with death at their doorsteps. So, what set this literature apart? Yes, they forgot rhyme. These poets loved alliteration. They used kenning, and kenning is a special way of describing something, using two words put together to create a new metaphorical meaning. And it is often found in Anglo-Saxon and Old Norse poetry. For example, calling the sea whale road gives you a vivid poetic image instead of just saying sea. Most of these poets never signed their work, but their works still echo. The best known is Beowulf, the hero who slays monsters but can't outrun death. There is Bede, the gentle scholar who wrote the ecclesiastical history of the English people. And Kind Wolf managed to sign his name and weave his Christian faith into poetry. Even King Alfred the Great picked up the pen, translating Latin texts so his people could learn in own tongue. Some famous work like Beowulf, the first great English epic, The Seafarer and the Wanderer, poems that ache the loneliness and faith. The Dream of the Rood, where the cross itself tells the story, and Bede's history, which lets us peek in the beginning of English Christianity. Life back then was tough, that showed up early, whether by sword or sickness. No wonder the writing is packed with longing for home, for glory, for God. Joy always had an edge of sorrow. A feast could be turned into mourning heartbeat. Heroes' victory were always shadowed by his faith. Still, these stories are full of grit, a stubborn belief that even in the darkest time, life means something. Anglo-Saxon literature isn't just old, it is alive. Its echoes are in Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. In the rhymes of the language, in the stories we still tell about courage, loss, and hope. This is where English literature begins, not with a whisper, but with a war cry.